was born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas. Although I don't live there, Texas will always be my home. This summer, my state suffered one of the worst tragedies in our history when 19 students and 2 teachers were gunned down in Uvalde. Like all of you, when I heard the news, it was devastating. And I think it's hard too, like I said earlier, like I think of you in terms of like how do you, because you've been to Uvalde, you've covered stories like this, like how do you do that, especially being a dad and a granddad? Like how do you process that?
You do it sometimes through clenched teeth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to live in a world where that becomes so routine that I can just say that and then go home.
You don't want to be desensitized.
I don't want to be desensitized. So it almost is a moment of like, I'm still good. I'm still a human being. That this is something that we all, in our divided world, this is something we can all agree on, that this is absolutely horrible. It strikes to the worst possible thing that we can imagine.
Your kid should be safe at school.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. They should be safe going to school. And as Lester saw, and as the world has seen in our darkest moments, Texans can come together, y'all. And this week, I was in Uvalde to witness firsthand how this community is healing and rebuilding. We heard about these murals that were being painted and on kind of memorializing the victims and like who they were as individuals, and I really wanted to see them. I wanted to see them in person. I wanted to see how this healing is happening in this community, and I wanted to be here. Just driving through here, it's like, it literally looks like Burleson, where I grew up. Our first stop was to meet Abel Ortiz, a Uvalde resident and art professor, who came up with the idea for the mural project. This is such a beautiful, beautiful project that you're doing.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for being here and pay homage and your respects to the victims and the families. I was really honored to paint whoever I would wind up painting.
Yeah.
But I do have connections to Ellie's family, the mural that I painted, and it's right around the corner here.
Oh my gosh.
This is Ellie.
Oh my gosh.
She was robust, full of life, and every day was special for her.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my God, this is...
Thank you. So each mural is going to tell you their story. It's a baseball card design, because she won the championship the Saturday before.
Oh,
basketball.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I put champion on her.
I love that.
It's our response to that tragedy that we're going to be defined by. And the murals provide that positive path towards that redefinition of our community and us as individuals.
And what a beautiful way for these family members to get to come and see them like this.
Yes.
In person, they're massive.
Yes, they have to be monumental.
Yeah.
Because the pain is monumental.
Yeah. Oh, wow, I can't imagine. Next, Abel and I went to meet Monica Maldonado, the founder of the art-based nonprofit Más Cultura, who worked tirelessly organizing this massive project. So you found a bunch of Hispanic artists, right? Latin artists, right?
Knowing that Uvalde is upwards of 82% Hispanic, it definitely was important for me that the artists be Latino.
Sometimes you can't express with words what you can with visuals, and you connect the dots in a sense. You build the life of the child as you explore across the whole mural.
This is Uzziah. There was just a very caring and compassionate kid that really just wanted to make the world a better place. And there's a story about him where he's got this cookie and one of his classmates asks him for a piece of it, and he takes it and he crumbles it up and he shares it with the rest of his class. And when I heard that story, I knew immediately that Rich would have to paint him because Rich is the same way. Eliana Torres.
Beautiful.
She actually was up to be on the All-Star team, and that day that this happened, she would have found out that she had made the All-Star team. Anne-Marie, this medal was given to her by the Girl Scouts. So Anne-Marie dialed 911 while she was in the classroom, trying to save her friends.
Wow.
This is a blank canvas, and our plan is to put all the names here. We will continue efforts of fundraising through the GoFundMe, and this is
probably money to preserve as well.
Yes.
Yep, so we're using the money to preserve.
Well, we actually heard that y'all were needing more funds So we wanted to help y'all. So we're going to give y'all $10,000 just to help out.
Oh my goodness.
Just to help out, like it's the least we can do. It's so important for people to come see this.
That's going to basically complete the project for us.
Oh my
because we're
gosh.
struggling with the funds here at the end. And so that's going to really, you know how happy I am right now.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are the angels. Thank you so much. It's such an amazingly cool thing to do in such a horrific, situation. It's devastating what has happened, but to also like see these murals and experience what they were like living, like it's life, and that's how you want to. Well, that's how I would want my child. This summer, my home state of Texas suffered one of our worst tragedies when 19 fourth grade students and 2 teachers were gunned down in Uvalde. I recently visited this small community to see how an extraordinary project is honoring the lives lost. Artists from across Texas are painting individual murals for each of the victims. It's so beautiful. One of those artists is Juan Velasquez, and he's joining us now, so give it up for Juan.
Thank you.
And he's already met Darcy and Lester in the break, and I'm so sorry. It's just every time I say those stats, I can't get over it. I don't think anybody ever will, but you were the first muralist, right?
Correct.
So how did you choose who you were gonna do the mural of?
Well, I did a mural of Alithia Ramirez. She was 10 years old, and she was an artist. And I remember looking at the news and seeing her artwork, and because I'm an artist too, like I connected with that. And I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and I paint murals after the pandemic. I left my job and just decided to be a full-time muralist. And I saw how me painting the communities brought people together. And
Inspires hope.
Inspires hope. And I sort of wanted to do the same thing for Uvalde.
Absolutely. How did you get involved in the project?
Well, when I'm watching the news, and I'm in the military. I consider myself a strong, serious person, but I broke down seeing that I have a 4-year-old daughter. Actually, she just turned 5 2 days ago. And I couldn't even imagine losing a child. And I felt like I needed to do it. And we were able to put her artwork on the mural. So if you actually see her T-shirt, that's her actual artwork. One of those from a Father's Day card that she gave to her dad.
Oh, wow.
And in a way, I wanted people to remember her, but also remember her artwork.
Because that's what was important to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and I love the connecting. And Alithia's artwork is living on. Actor Matthew McConaughey, who's from Uvalde, brought Alithia's artwork to the White House. Another drawing appeared on Google's homepage, and several others were donated to a gallery. So what did Alithia's family think when you did it?
We were there. It was 110-degree weather. It was brutal, and we were about to leave. We were eating, and Monica called me and she said, "Hey, the dad wants to talk to you and Sarah," since we were the 2 main artists that painted the mural. And we had never spoken to the dad. They were very private, and we wanted to respect their privacy. But I remember when I pulled up, he was like looking at the mural, and he was smiling, and it sort of made all that worth it, And I remember talking to him, and I wanted to say it. The whole time I was thinking everything I wanted to tell him, and I really couldn't speak. All I told him is, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. And the whole time I was thinking about what I was gonna say, and I was trying not to, have him come for me and break down. So I just told him, like, "I'm so sorry." Like, I didn't want to make it about me, so I just said, "I'm so sorry."
What a beautiful thing, though, in such a dark moment, that you made him smile. You've spoken to families like this before. And like I've said before, you're a dad. Like, how do you speak to these families without appearing like this?
There's you do appear like this.
Yeah.
I remember sitting down with one family, and they were just pouring their heart out. And I remember the mother was, she was feeling this blame because she had visited the school earlier that day. They had given, year-end awards, and she said, "I'll pick you up later on." I mean, just, and what do you say to that?
Yeah.
The
what ifs.
The what ifs. And so the conversation really becomes, when we do these stories for Nightly News, is how do we honor the children? How do we put a face and a story to these lives? I mean, we're all shattered, but at the same time, we deserve to know who these young people were. We'll never know what their potential was, how they might have impacted, their community or discovered something important. But it is important that we give the families some time to recognize and to give them a platform, if you will, as difficult as it is. And to your point, you just don't know what to say.
I think how we honor them is we hope that it never happens. Can we do things
Amen.
To implement that change so that doesn't happen? Nobody deserves that. So Juan is one of several artists painting murals dedicated to the victims in Uvalde, Texas. It's one way this small community is healing and rebuilding, but there's so much more happening there. This summer, Texas-based grocery chain H-E-B, along with the Butt family, pledged $10 million to build a brand new elementary school, which is incredible. And here to talk about the project is Julie Bedingfield from H-E-B, along with Josh Brown, the architect who is designing the school. Hello, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Julie, this is huge. It's an incredible thing. So why was this so important to H-E-B?
Yeah, well, Kelly, I know you're from Texas, but a lot of the audience may not be, and they're asking, what's an H-E-B?
Yeah, we know.
We know.
Yeah.
But we're a Texas-based retailer that was founded in 1905, and we've been serving Uvalde for more than 60 years. So to say that the Butt family and H-E-B is deeply connected to this community would be an understatement. And, I can say personally, driving to Uvalde the morning of May 25th was very difficult. Talking to my husband on the phone, who didn't want to drop our daughter off at school. And you don't have to be a parent to just feel the weight of this so deeply. And I didn't realize the amount of trauma and loss that I was walking into. And that was not a unique story for me. And I have a lot of pride in wearing my H-E-B badge, and so do everybody who works for H-E-B. So, we want a school to be a sense of place. We think our grocery stores, our churches, our schools provide community, especially in towns like Uvalde, small towns. So it was a no-brainer for us to be able to make this initial gift of $10 million. And this is for the kids there and to get them back on a path of healing.
Absolutely. Well, schools, they're your specialty, right, Josh? This is your specialty, what you're doing, right?
Absolutely. Much like H-E-B, we're a Texas-based company. We were founded in 1967, doing educational facilities in the state of Texas, all over the state of Texas, and that's been our sole focus for that 55 years. But as far as kind of what our focus is right now with Uvalde, is really one of just being a great active listener, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of things going on, there's a lot of things that need to be sorted out. And so as the designer, we want to make sure that we take the time to listen, to understand, to really hear perspectives and thoughts and opinions, and make sure we formulate all of that, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to accomplish is a facility that is going to give a sense of community, that's going to give a sense of confidence, is going to portray a sense of safety for all those students and educators that are going back to that building, and that community can rally around.
Yeah. Lester, when you return to communities like Sandy Hook or Uvalde years later, what do you notice?
What I notice is they don't accept the label of being a bad place. They recognize that something bad happened in their community, and people won't forget the name, but that doesn't mean these are bad communities. And what I'm always struck by is how these communities are able to help us think of other things, including this kind of philanthropy, people standing up, people comforting. That's the legacy that I think gives strength as these communities try to find their footing.
And it's amazing to see how the communities are stepping up and they're lending a hand. They're building these schools. They're doing so many things for these kids. But the real honor is not having to have any parent have that call. I always get very tired of hearing about, oh, our thoughts and our prayers are with you. Of course they are, but we need change, and we need leaders who implement change. So our kids, so you don't hear kids saying, I'm afraid to go to school. Like, you know, it's the craziest thing in the world to me that it's even I mean, how many of these schools are gonna have to be hit in order for people to freaking do something, you know? And it's amazing because all the communities are doing stuff. They're helping each other, they're lifting each other up. But until we actually do something as a nation, it's a problem. I am coming not from a political standpoint, from a mother's. And it's frightening. It's so, and that's I literally talk to mothers all the time. I'm sure you do too. You have kids. It's like, this is a no-brainer. There is a lot of problems. Yes, mental illness. Yes, all these things are happening, but quit politicizing it, everyone, and just rally around these communities and make actual change. Because we're afraid to send our kids to school. Public or private, doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm just tired. I think all of us are tired. When will the school be ready for the kids? Do they know?
So our hope is that we're serving students in this school by 2024, but we're going to do things thoughtfully and intentionally to do them right.
Amen. Well, the Uvalde CISD Moving Forward Foundation has already received some big donations, but they still need more funding. And today we'd like to donate $10,000 to the project. And to build the school, every penny counts, y'all. It doesn't matter big or small, whatever you can give, you know, can help rebuild. And to donate, use the QR code on your screen right now, or check out kellyclarksonshow.com for more information.